I'll call the meeting to order at 11:03. Thank you all for making time today to be here, and also for your participation in graduations this past month. It was great to see the staff and have dinner with all of you and the teachers, and it's always so nice to see the students. And so maybe at the end of the meeting, we can all comment on that. But for now, I'll call the meeting to order, and roll call, please, Liz.
Yes, sir. Secretary Halverson?
Here.
Thank you. Member Holmes?
Here, sorry.
Thank you. Chairman Lewis?
Here.
Thank you. And Vice Chairperson Martell, I believe, is absent at the moment. Member Siegel?
I'm here.
Thank you. And Member Sutherland?
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum.
Okay. Thank you. Then I'll ask for a motion to approve the agenda or modify if needed.
Move
Modifications?
Halverson.
Okay, thank you. I'll second. Any discussion on modifications to the agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. The agenda is approved. Item 2.1, this is the time and place for members of the public who wish to speak on items that are not on the agenda. This is a regular meeting, so this is the time and place to speak on items not on the agenda. Please, if you are in attendance at a school, step up and speak or raise your hand online. So I'll wait now. Is there any member of the public that wishes to speak on items not on the agenda? Liz, is there anybody online?
I'm seeing none. No one has come forward.
Okay, I'll close public comment. Thank you. And we'll move into our discussion and action items. Remember, as we discuss the LCAPs, and we need to take action on each of these separately because they're very unique for each school. But I would remind board members that the goals and actions reflect the intent of the board to improve student academic performance, provide additional services to students for whom English is a second language, and to expand our exciting programs such as college concurrent enrollment and CTE that support student futures. And so those are largely some of the initiatives you saw in here. I did notice what's new this year is that our schools have qualified under state and federal programs to focus on improving our chronic absenteeism and graduation rates, which is great. I appreciate the staff has addressed that. And I do believe the LCAP addresses these areas. So Liz or Lindsay, do you want to go ahead and start?
I just had one additional item that I wanted to make sure we called out vocally and visually is our local performance indicator report. This is what we traditionally call the local indicators report. And this is required to be presented at the same meeting that the LCAPs are adopted. We did already include these in the public hearings, but I just wanted to highlight them here that these have been completed and reviewed and had an opportunity for public comment during the public hearings as well.
Thank you. Is there an additional staff report on these? I know the board has read the LCAP. Is there any other report from staff?
No, you summarized it well, Chairman Lewis. It's very important to driving who we are and what we do and how we help kids.
Any questions from board members? I know we reviewed these at our last meeting when we opened the public hearing on them. So I know this is kind of a perfunctory, this vote, because we've already discussed them. But any other questions before I open it to the public on item 3.1, the LCAP, including the Dashboard Local Indicators Report for Pivot Charter North Bay? Any board, no questions? Okay. Any members of the public wish to speak on item 3.1? Please speak now. Anyone wishing to speak, Liz? Okay, I'll close public comment and entertain a motion to approve the LCAP, including the federal addendum and dashboard for Pivot Charter School North Bay.
So moved.
Thank you, OJ. Second, Holmes, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Item 3.2, this is the LCAP, including the federal addendum and dashboard for Pivot Charter School North Valley 2. Any questions or discussion from board members on this item? Okay, seeing none, I'll open it up to the members of the public. Any member of the public wishing to speak? This is our school in Chico. Any members of the public wishing to speak on this item? Liz, anyone? Okay, I'll close public comment and ask for a motion to approve item 3.2.
So moved.
Thank you, OJ. Oh, was that Tom or OJ? Okay.
Second.
Second, Steve. Thank you. Appreciate that. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, great. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 3.3 is the LCAP plan, including the federal addendum and dashboard local indicators for Pivot Charter School Riverside. Any questions or discussions from board members on this item? Okay, I'll open up to public comment. Any member of the public wish to speak on item 3.3 regarding our school in Riverside? Liz? No? Okay, I'll close public comment and ask for motion to approve item 3.3.
Siegel.
Second.
Siegel, second, Halverson. Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion carries. I'd remind any members of the public and staff that the board has already discussed these and vetted these and read these. So if it seems like this is just kind of moving too quickly, we're already versed, and I appreciate the work. I said this at the last board meeting that goes into these. It's just tremendous. And they're so well thought out. So if it seems we're just running these through, we're not. We've already gone through these in detail, and now we're formally approving them. Okay, item 3.4 is local control and accountability plan and federal addendum and dashboard for San Diego. Any questions or discussion from board members? Okay, hearing none. This is San Diego 2, pardon me. I'll open up public comment, item 3.4. Any members of the public that would like to speak about our plan for San Diego? None? Okay. I'll close public comment and ask for a motion from board.
Move, Halverson.
Thank you, Albert.
Second.
Second, Holmes. Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Well, thank you. Our 4 LCAPs and dashboard local indicator reports are approved. Thank you for the excellent work. We continue to make great progress. I'm very grateful. Item 3.5 is the budget for Roads Education Organization for 2023-24. Pardon me. I've been teaching VBS all week and I'm screaming at 500 kids. So it's my voice is getting raw by Thursday. Thank you to the subcommittee. Pat and Ralph, you guys really put a lot of work into this. I'm very grateful. It gave me a lot of confidence in some of these decisions, knowing that you have really vetted this out. I want to recognize, in talking with the subcommittee and key staff, Liz, thank you, and Jana, that this budget reflects a commitment we made to create a salary schedule for all employees in a strategic manner, gradually and over time. And Liz, you really, the administrative and counselor work, as well as the classified personnel salary schedule this year, is a lot of work. And I know you did credential staff last year, so thank you for working through all those iterations. Really incredible. The budget reflects those salary schedule amounts and the exciting new restructuring of positions and new positions being added in the 23-24 school year, and the great work staff has done in working through those the last 8 months. So I also finally, I'm pleased, as I've talked with the executive director, that she sees this already working out so well, the reorganization, and I want to give my heartfelt congratulations to the staff who've been promoted or given new opportunities. I know I confidently speak for our board when I say we have confidence in you and know that you will do terrific work. So those are my opening comments as chairman. Liz, do you have any further report on the budget?
Nothing additional. You summarized it very well, and I am appreciative of all the support from the board and the ad hoc subcommittee.
I certainly don't mean to be giving the staff reports today, but I am a little over prepared for today because I just was excited for Roads Education this morning. I'll ask Mr. Holmes or Ms. Martell, do either of you have any further comments? We really appreciate your work on this.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add, really. I mean, we spent a lot of time on this. This was not thought about lightly. I would say that I appreciated all the effort the staff put in to answer all the questions, because there were a lot. And we have multiple meetings to just sort of walk through it, talk about it, talk about different scenarios, and I feel comfortable with this budget.
Thank you. Did Ms. Martell join us? Okay. Thank you, Ralph. Really appreciate it. Do any board members have questions or wish to point out any items in the budget before we open it up to the public? Okay, then hearing none, I'll open up to the public, or many members of the public wish to speak or comment on item 3.5, the 2023-24 budget. Hearing none. Okay. I'll return it to the board for a motion. Ralph, would you like to make that being our,
Absolutely. I'll make a motion.
okay. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
OJ, thank you very much. There's a motion, a second to approve our budget. There's another item here. We're going to vote on this in like 3 minutes, but it just has been hours and hours of work just to remind the staff and any members of the public. Several subcommittee meetings. We discussed the budget for darn near close to a half hour to an hour at our last board meeting, and have had one-on-ones with the executive director. So just to remind everybody that this is really thoughtful. And, we continue to have a very strong fund balance for our school, which I'm very grateful. So, okay, so moved to second. I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Congratulations, Liz and Jana, and on our budget. Great plan. Item 3.6 is an order. We did discuss compensation of the executive director, but prior to that being able to be implemented, we must actually do a compensation study for the executive director. And so I'll have that pulled up. I would mention that you'll notice a few of these salaries are a bit reflect similar types of organizations, but it's hard to find ones that have 4 different authorizers, 4 different school sites, and require the travel of our executive director. And so that's always a challenge as we try and compare these. But this is the compensation study provided. Liz, is it something you can review quickly, or Ms. Gaskill? I'm not sure who can walk through this.
These are the numbers that are,
for you to do it.
yeah, I mean, these are the numbers that our attorneys and our, the folks that do these studies on an annual basis give us, so you can review it and make sure that my salary is commensurate with where it should be.
Can you walk through a few of the key points just for all of us in the public?
I mean, it's so hard because they differ so much, the executive director's roles and the size of their schools and how they manage and whether they're classroom based or independent study. It goes everywhere from 128 to $300,000 and everything in between. There were also outliers. I try not to, I get rid of the outliers. If like there's a principal executive director / teacher person who's making 50, and if there are several out there that are making, several $100,000 more, but those are outliers. So we try to focus on, the medium in between that reflects as close to what we do as a program as possible.
And looking at these, like George Washington Charter and Butte Charter Core are right on par with our executive director. If they're to refresh the board, she right now is right in at 211, 212 plus other benefits and STIRS and healthcare.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Are there questions about this? This is only meant to be reviewed before we go into closed session to discuss the executive director's contract. Are there any questions of board members regarding this? By law, we're meant to do this, to look at this in public before we discuss the compensation.
None here.
Okay. Thank you. As you remember, the public would like to speak to the results of the compensation survey. There's no action on this, but this is just to be in compliance with state law. Any members of the public wish to speak on the results of the compensation survey? Okay. Hearing none, then I'll close that discussion. At this point, then, we will adjourn into closed session. The item being public employment, Executive Director, Government Code Section 54957, Public Employment Executive Director. So we'll adjourn into closed session. Okay, we're back in open session. Let's see, let me get my agenda here real quick. Okay, we're in open session. We have a report of action taken in closed session. We did take action on the Executive Director's contract. I will now do that on item 7.1, oral report of compensation to be paid to the executive director. Under state law, this is required. And so we are recommending a base annual salary, a contract amendment that states a base annual salary. Well, let me reiterate, the contract is from July 1st, 2022 till June 30th, 2026. That does not change. The contract as amended will provide the following: a base annual salary for 2023-24 of $212,953.56, which is an increase of 3% over last year, commensurate with the percent raises being granted to other staff that do not have salary schedules for this year. Further, the contract will reflect a 4% increase in the 2024-25 school year and a 4% increase in the 2025-26 fiscal year. Additionally, the board would like to add language that says, at the board's sole discretion, the board may offer an annual bonus of up to $15,000. So again, I'll say that will say, at the board's sole discretion, they may choose to offer a one-time bonus of up to $15,000 for successful attainment of the goals that were set for her in the previous year. So that will be the language. So if you get that recorded, you can incorporate that. And the other provisions of the contract shall remain the same. I think that covers it, right, Ms. Gaskell? The other item I think is not.
Well, I believe, unless I'm wrong, and Jana, correct me if the attorney said something different, but the action to approve the contract amendment, does that have to be taken in open session?
Yes, but I just want to make sure my report out's correct.
Yeah, the
Oh, okay.
report out was, I believe there was you guys just informed me that there was a bonus for this year. And
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yes. And the board has awarded a bonus commensurate with the new language of $7,500 to the executive director. Thank you for your service this year, Jane. I'm sorry I forgot that.
No, thank
Small
you.
detail of importance.
Thank you, Jim. And thank you, board, very, very much. And I will work on my new goals as diligently as I did last year that I earned the bonus for. So thank you.
Okay, so I will actually move the proposed contracts amendments on the executive director's contract and the award of the one-time bonus of $7,500.
Second.
Second by Holmes. Thank you. Any further discussion of board members? I need to open this up to the public. I'm sorry. Any members of the public that wish to speak on this item prior to us voting? Okay, hearing or seeing none, I'll close public comment. The board has a motion, a second. Can we do a roll call, Liz? This is an important item.
Yes, sir. Let's see. I don't have my roster up here. Let's see. Secretary Halverson.
Is he there?
Dr. Halverson, are you on?
Yeah, it dropped off.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Couldn't
All
find
right.
his calendar.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, watch it. Watch it.
Okay. Member Holmes.
Yes.
Okay. Chairman Lewis.
yes.
Member Siegel. Member Siegel, are you still there? Are you
I'm
muted?
sorry, I was muted and I said yes, but you didn't hear me.
Got it. Thank you. And Member
Two of
Sutherland?
us.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. That's what. Did I skip someone? Member Martell is absent. Oh no, that's
That's
all.
it. There's 6 of us right now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you,
so
Member
to be clear, thank you, board members. Congratulations, Ms. Gaskell. Staff, thank you for working so hard this year. We appreciate
you.
it. We hope that
Thank
the new
you, board.
compensation structure works. To be clear, this will be a one-time payment on the bonus paid in the next fiscal year. So I want to make sure that's very clear on the next fiscal payroll. So I think that was understood, but Liz, I want to make sure that was clear to you. That is when that would be paid. So
So not on the June 30th payroll
might be on the first, it'd be the first payroll of the next fiscal year.
in July. Okay.
Okay, I think that is it. Our next meeting is in August. It is August 25th at 9:30 a.m. in Santa Rosa. We'll flesh out some details for that as we get closer to the date, but that is what it's set for. And I would just like to offer any members before we adjourn, like to adjourn on a high note. Does anybody wish to comment on your experience at the graduations? I think many of us were able to be involved in that. Anybody wish to share any thoughts or comments?
Sure, I'd start. I did attend the graduation in North Bay in Santa Rosa. It was a great event. We had it at the junior college, which was wonderful. And it was such a natural thing for the students to graduate there. So many of them are going to go to junior college there. The junior college representatives there were very welcoming. One of the, I don't remember the gentleman's name, but he spoke to the students, welcoming them to the junior college. It's a phenomenal facility for junior college. They've actually got dorms, which is unusual for junior college. And so it's just a great event. I got to pass out diplomas, over 50 of them. I don't recall the number, 53, 54, something like that. A lot. I was in a lot of pictures, which I felt bad for these poor kids. But But they're all really very happy. It was a great event. The families were ecstatic, and what a great thing to be part of.
Thank you, Al.
It was awesome. And the two members from the Santa Rosa Junior College stayed for the entire ceremony, and they were very, very moved. And that was really cool.
They were really
That's cool.
moved by the rose ceremony. They really were. And they just walked. They both walked out thinking like, this is awesome. And
Yeah.
You had a similar
Go ahead.
thought on that, didn't you, about the location?
I'm sorry, what, Jim?
Tom had some similar thoughts on the location in Riverside. Tom, did you want to share those?
Well, I thought it was located at a community college there, and that was an amazing site. And it was right there over the board, I think where the board meets or something. But that was the opportunity to the kids to see a place like that, like Ralph, that they don't even know in some cases these things exist. And so by even having them there and the parents see this place, and the more we can do things like that, where they have an to be open up to a new adventure. I thought that was amazing site. And they mentioned it close, but it was both sites. I think it was really fun to hear. And like I said before, with kids, astounding. And their parents were so proud. And some of them, like, you watched them, one father crying, on his kid. It was just very emotional. And I mentioned before, several of these cases where we've all remembered the day we graduated from high school. I mean, what you.
Thank you, Tom. You're right. OJ, did you have your thoughts?
Yeah, I did Chico, and just as Sharon and I drove up to the graduation site, which was supposed to be an outside event, it started to rain, and have to give a big shout out for the facilities people for moving everything to an available inside location. And so the graduation went off as planned. However, I think the weather was sort of threw a damper on everybody's feelings. I think they just wanted to get the hell out of there. And they as past Chico graduations, which have been very emotional and so on, this one didn't seem to be that way. I think there was a big crowd. They filled up this room. Fact is, they were standing room only, and they're just. I think weather just did negative, threw a negative feeling on the graduation overall, but it came off as planned, and everyone that graduated smiled. So I took that as being happy they were doing it.
And they graduated.
And they graduated. Yeah. So not as many people spoke as usual. Not as many roses were handed out as usual. But you knew they were glad to go through that process.
Well, I appreciate the sunshine report from Chico. All right. Well, thank you all for being there.
Let me just quickly say that when I worked at a college in Massachusetts, I was active with the commencement ceremony for 4 years. And our plan for the ceremony was about 75 pages long. And the inclement weather plan for the exact same ceremony was over 200 pages long, because we had to change on a dime. So it's not easy work to have rain ruin your outdoor performances. But the other thing I just want to say, I missed the graduations this year, and I really miss them on many levels. It is, as Jim and others have said, it's payday, and I will be there next year for sure. And I just want to thank the team for a great year. It was one of those years trying to rebound from all the craziness of the last couple years, and I don't know. I think I shouldn't even say anything, but I don't think there was anything really extraordinary that happened, which is the first in my term on this board. I know, Jana, I know, don't talk about it. But thank you all. It's been another great year of working with you all and looking forward to next year. Tom, you may be disappointed to learn that the board voted that OJ and I come back next year. So
What?
yeah,
No.
so you'll see it in the minutes.
Oh, jeez. God.
Congratulations, Steve. Thank you. Appreciate that. And I think you're right. It's extraordinary that nothing extraordinary happened, and I think we're okay with that. So,
Amen.
Tom, we'll appreciate this. Before we adjourn, I do need to make a correction on the record. Liz was right, and I was wrong. Again, there you go on the record. The bonus will be paid on the June 30th payroll. That's appropriate. You were right. That's why you were saying that. I made an error, so apologize, but I just want to make sure that was on the record. You were right, Liz. That's what you thought it should be. So there you go. I looked back at my notes, and that's the correction. Okay, I think then we're all set. Thank you all for your service. Have a great summer. We'll see you in August, and this meeting's
Thank you
adjourned.
all. Have a great summer. Take care of yourselves. Thank
Great.
you, board,
Take
very
care.
much.